Apply online at goodwillvegas.org.
1015 FM KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good morning, Las Vegas. It's time to get back in the ring. Let's do it. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 1015 FM. The Talk of Las Vegas, coming to you live from the Odyssey Studios here in Las Vegas. Very excited to be with you. It is a massive pro wrestling weekend here in Las Vegas and around the country. Man, we have a lot going on. And I'll tell you what, TNA Rebellion last night here in Las Vegas, and they've got their TV tapings today. Some serious surprises with new faces, with some results that I think are going to open some people's eyes. A lot of great fans out there last night. One idiot. I don't know if I want to tell that story. Well, I'm thinking about it. We'll see how the day goes. We're going to talk about that. AEW Dynasty is tonight as well. So we got an AEW pay-per-view this evening, which is going to be very intriguing. We're going to talk about that. And a lot of happenings in WWE as well, as we have a couple more people getting put on the bench with CM Punk and a few people being shown the door. So a fascinating week in pro wrestling that we're going to be getting to talk about with you. And it's going to be me the whole way. So we're looking forward to going through all the great news and everything that happened here in Las Vegas last night, breaking it all down for you. Plus, we are going to be replaying our interview with the TNA World Champion. At least he was at the time. And we're not going to, in case you didn't see what happened, I don't want to spoil it for you yet. The TNA World Champion Moose and Nick Nemeth, of course, he was known as Dolph Ziggler in WWE, the challenger. And got to give credit to Ross Foreman and the TNA team who went out all over Las Vegas. I mean, a ton of media appearances, did a great press conference, which they live streamed on Thursday over at the Palms, and throughout the first pitch at the Aviators game on Thursday as well. I mean, just did a terrific job getting the word out and promoting this card that happened last night. And of course, you can still get to the TV tapings. They have some great matches coming up, and I want to get into those as well. But if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, and you're thinking about, well, should I go? Shouldn't I? I don't know. Don't think about it. Just get on down there. You're going to have a blast. I promise you, really enjoy yourselves. So head on over to TNA tickets or TNAwrestling.com and get the tickets. Of course, you can just go down to the Palms as well and pop up there and get your tickets and enjoy yourself today for a great late afternoon and evening of pro wrestling here in Las Vegas. And of course, we're going to be getting ready right after this Memorial Day weekend. AEW will be here for Double or Nothing as well. So, boy, we are becoming a wrestling capital real fast. And apparently, rumor mill has it we are one of the finalists for WrestleMania next year. And there's some interesting happenings with WrestleMania too that we're going to talk about later on in the show. So a ton of things going on in the world of pro wrestling, and we're going to hit them all for you. But the first thing we want to do, I actually am going to hit the break a little bit early, but I do want to run down what's going to be happening tonight at the Palms. Here are your matches that have been announced, at least for the TV tapings. So brace yourselves on this one. Nick Nemeth, as we talked about, I will not say yet if he is the world champion or not, but he will be facing the system's Eddie Edwards. Of course, he is co-holder of the TNA World Tag Team Championship. Those two will be facing off tonight. Jordan Grace against Miyu Yamashita. We've got Chris Bay and Mustafa Ali. Of course, you remember Mustafa from WWE and the X Division champ. Zaya Brookside takes on Ash by Elegance. Of course, she was formerly known as Dana Brooke in WWE. Speedball Mike Bailey against Brian Myers, the other co-holder of the TNA World Tag Team Championships. And Brian Myers, by the way, did something pretty cool last night. Zachary Wentz takes on Leon Slater, and Bun B, the rapper, is going to be in the house tonight too. So like I said, going to be a great time down there at the Palms. So please join us. It's going to be awesome. Absolutely awesome. So once again, tickets available. Go to tnawrestling.com. Get your tickets right now. Don't wait. Don't wait. Please. Asking real nice. But it should be a fun time as we get ready for an awesome night here in Las Vegas. All right. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to make sure we got plenty of time to get this interview in and then talk about what happened last night at Rebellion. I'm going to hear our first break right now. And then when we come back, we're going to hear from the TNA World Champion Moose, the man who challenged him last night, Nick Nemeth, and check out that interview. And then we will discuss what happened yesterday down at the Palms. And it was a wild night. Some new faces, returning faces. It was something else, everybody. So stick around. We've got a whole lot more here coming up on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Of course, also on that Odyssey app worldwide and streaming on YouTube and Facebook. And get in that chat box if you want to say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Give us your thoughts on what happened TNA Rebellion, what's going to be going on tonight with AEW, WWE, whatever you want to hit us with. We'll be right back.
Enjoy Jerry's Nugget Steak and Shrimp Special for only $16.89. This combo is a taste sensation. Come savor the goodness as you slice into a juicy 8-ounce steak, cooked to order. Then, let the succulent, freshly prepared pan-fried shrimp melt in your mouth. So good. Jerry's Steak and Shrimp is served 7 days a week, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. It comes with choice of soup of the day or house salad, choice of potato, and garlic bread. Bring the family and enjoy Jerry's Nugget Casino, your kind of place.
Jerry's Nugget Casino, your kind of place.
Join the Vegas Chamber today. Being a member of the Vegas Chamber sends a powerful message of credibility and that your business is connected to a larger community of organizations dedicated to ensuring Nevada is a great place to live, work, and do business. Joining the Vegas Chamber and becoming part of the largest business organization in Nevada has never been easier. Grow your business within your budget. Visit vegaschamber.com and join today. Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope, and there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free. Show your pharmacist your digital card and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll, so you can get back to doing what makes you happy.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, let's get back to it. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Very happy to have you join us. And by the way, I wanted to thank all the fans that came out last night and everybody that won tickets for Rebellion last night here on the Mark Hoke Show and on SportsX Radio. We hope those of you that got to go last night had a great time, and those of you that are coming tonight, hey, say hi. We got there about 3:30 last night. Myself and the boss and my daughter got to have a blast down there. We were sitting ringside about 3 rows back, I think. So really enjoyed ourselves for that, and looking forward to another great night of TNA wrestling at the Palms. So, if you see us, say hi, and, we'd love to catch you. And, if you follow me on X, by the way, I did a pretty good job. Got some good pictures and some tweets up. So follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, and, communicate or whatever. We always like to interact with our fans. We certainly appreciate it. And once again, we'd love to have you interact with us on our chat box. So wherever you're listening to us, just go on YouTube real quick. It's at the Mark Hoke Show, and give us your comments, your thoughts. We're going to be talking after the interview here with Moose and Nick. We're going to be talking a lot about what happened last night. We're going to be talking a lot about what is going to be going on with the AEW Dynasty and all these happenings with WWE, because it was a busy week over there all of a sudden too. So we want to hear what you think. Give us your opinions, ideas. Tell me how awesome I am. That would be cool too. But, give us your feedback. We would certainly appreciate it. So once again, we're on YouTube and Facebook, and just hop in that chat box. All right. So I had a chance to sit down in the same room with Moose and Nick Nemeth as they were, of course, on their big media tour, getting ready to face off last night for the TNA World Championship. And here's what the two of them had to say. Moose and Nick Nemeth. Here we go. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show and SportsX Radio. And we are very excited to have the champion and the challenger for TNA Rebellion coming up here on Saturday, April 20th at the Palms, right here in Las Vegas. And I want to remind both these gentlemen, Moose and Nick Nemeth, that no physicality, fellas. We got the word from Anthem Sports and Entertainment. Any physicality, it's going to cost you boys $50K. So, gentlemen, hands off. We are, of course, very excited in Las Vegas to have you guys back. Of course, the last time that you two were here, well, Moose, you picked up that TNA championship. A pretty good night for you, to say the least. How's things been going since you won the world title? Because you've been pretty dominant, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, what did you expect? I'm the greatest wrestler that stepped foot into TNA wrestling. Last time I was here was a great night. I did exactly what I told everybody I would do. I would become the champion to start this new era TNA. And Nick Nemeth showed up, and he no pun intended, made an impact, and he chose me to make an impact on. So full circle is me and him in the ring Saturday night, and payback's a bitch.
Now, you told me in an interview that you didn't mind that he showed up.
I didn't, because be honest, if I was in his shoes, I would have done the same exact thing. So I didn't mind he showed up. I mean, I am a company guy. I love TNA. I've been the flag bearer for TNA, and I'm happy Nick Nemeth is here. I just think it's stupid he chose me to make an impact on, and he's going to find out Saturday night how dumb he was to do that.
Nick, was that stupid of you to do that?
I am a high school graduate. I will not take that face to face that I am stupid. There's a bad guy, good guy, you name it. I will give credit where it's due because I'm a human being who studies this business more than anyone. And Moose has been absolutely dominant, especially with the system behind him, period. And yes, of course, if you're going to make an impact on your debut for a brand new rebrand of an up and coming company, where would you do it? In the main event of their premier pay-per-view against the brand new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So of course I picked that spot to make my mark and let Moose know you fought valiantly. You came through. You're becoming a better world champion every single day, but you'll never be me. And that's not being braggy. That's not being humble. That's not being anything, just saying facts. There's only one Moose and there's only one wanted man, Nick Nemeth. And one of us has a track record of being better than most. And one of them is becoming one of the best. I'm looking forward to Saturday because one, I get to show Moose, hey, the guy you've been picking on and the roster you've been picking on, they're going to bite you back one of these days. And maybe this Saturday is the day that it happens. So I didn't come to TNA to be a really good guy who gets really close to becoming champion. I've done that crap. I'm going to become TNA world champion and I hope it's Saturday, but I'm going to leave it all out there and I'll see if the Moose can hang with me.
Well, Nick, it's been an interesting road for you, obviously getting out of where you were, and you've been all over the place too, not just Impact. You've been flying around and beating everybody up. I mean, it's been an incredibly impressive run for you over the past few months, and it's got to be exciting to have that freedom to do what you want to do, and now rolling into TNA and having a chance to win the world championship just like that.
Yeah, it is, and it isn't just like that. It's been 3 or 4 months, but yes. And as much as I went out of my way to say I would not be stepping over roster talent because I respect them so much for a TNA World Heavyweight shot, but Moose forced my hand. He jumped me. His buddies jumped me. And you think I'm just going to let it slide because of something I said? I have to fight back. Anybody on the roster would fight back if Moose and his cronies jumped him. So I totally understand that. But yes, I have been all over the world. I'm having a blast. I feel better than I've ever felt. I'm excited to work and I'm excited to fight. I'm excited to take on Moose because he's someone I've never been in the ring with. So the respect that he has right now from me will be purely until Saturday. Then all that respect goes out the window. And then I take over as the general that I am and someone who's been there before, been able to, with a target on his back since day one, to actually follow through. So I don't know that he's ever seen that. And he can say anything he wants, say I'm dumb, stupid, whatever. But when we're just him and I in that ring, that's when it's going to click that the person who's been doing this for 19 years at an elite level, you'll actually see it in my eyes. And I'll actually notice when he takes that first step back and realizes this is the moment to where he gets to separate himself from everyone else on that roster as a genuine champion or someone who was pretty good and just couldn't hang with Nick Nemeth.
Wow, Moose, that's some pretty strong words.
That's some strong words. He's writing a lot of checks that I don't think is asking cash.
I prefer bearer bonds.
Yeah.
Well, Moose, we've seen a lot of newcomers coming into TNA recently too. You know, like Nick, Mustafa Ali, who first night comes in, wins the X Division championship. Do you kind of feel like you're carrying the flag a little bit here for TNA to cut these guys in that are just rolling in and trying to take all the championships away from those of you that have been in the company for a long time?
I mean, whoever been watching TNA knows I've been carrying the flag since I've been here. I've been here for 8-9 years now, so that's what I do. But back to what Nick said, I've studied a lot of Nick's adventures this last 3 months, and I've studied a lot of things he did from where he came from. And one thing Nick is going to realize when he steps into the ring with me is, with all the legends he's beat, all the guys in Japan he's wrestled, all the guys up north in New York he's wrestled, none of those guys could lace my boots. There's a difference between me there's a reason why I'm so great compared to all those guys that he's wrestled, and he's going to realize quick that I'm the best wrestler he's ever stepped in the ring with.
Wow, Nick, that's some pretty strong words there too.
And some of it's actually true. He is the flag bearing waver of TNA, and I respect that. He said 8-9 years. I didn't even realize it was that long. That's fantastic. I love that. I love a company guy, no matter what your feelings are, no matter whether I think you're doing it the right way or the wrong way. I absolutely appreciate someone from inside the system becoming the company man, carrying the flag, becoming the world champion. I think that's fantastic. Assuming that I've never been in the ring with anyone as good as him, I feel like that's kind of ignorant. I've been in the ring with the best. I am one of the best. I know that you're pretty good. I know that you're currently the world champion. And I know that a lot of times when the going gets rough, a lot of people, you find out who your friends are. You find out if you have what it takes to go that extra mile. When the going gets tough, from what I've watched, your friends just come help you. And that's it. Is that inaccurate?
Not accurate at all, but if you think
I don't know if you call them friends, colleagues.
If you
I don't
think
know if you pay them. Are they employees?
If
I'm
you
not
think
sure.
so, I mean, that's how the system works.
Okay.
Well, now, Moose, when you came in here, by the way, I saw you were looking. We have a Batman in the studio.
Yeah.
And you were saying, you're kind of a superhero guy here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, I've always been a big comic book kid as a young adult, as a adolescent, and I noticed you had the Ben Affleck version of Batman, which is my favorite Batman. And I'm just a big comic book guy, and I don't keep it to just one company. I watch DC, I watch Marvel, I watch everything.
Nice. And you also showed us the shoe collection too.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, of course, our Sports X Radio fans might know you from your time in the NFL as well. So a lot of shoes you're picking up along the way.
Yeah, the shoe thing started when I was in the NFL. I had a contract with Nike. So with that, I pretty much had an account where I could get anything I want for the whole year. So that's where I started that shoe addiction. So I think right now I'm up to about 523 pairs, something crazy.
What is the best shoe for cross training purposes as a wrestler who's doing some like field house work / getting prepared for the biggest match of their career this Saturday?
I don't wear cross trainers, so I couldn't answer that question.
But what's this shoe that you go to? You say you've got 500.
The shoe that I
have
go
2 pairs
to,
of Chucks and 2 pairs of Jordans.
Probably some Jordan 1s. You can never go wrong with some Jordan 1s. At one point in my career, I did wrestle with Jordans on, some Jordan Westbrooks. And then I decided I wanted a traditional wrestling look and upgraded the boots.
Now, of course, for those that aren't familiar with Nick, you've done a lot of stand-up comedy. How's that going?
I've done some stand-up comedy. It's been for years, but also I'm a workaholic when it comes to wrestling, so I don't have a lot of time off. But any chance I get, I'll get up on an open mic and bomb trying some material or crush a show around WrestleMania with my brother at Helium in Philadelphia. We usually kick off WrestleMania week or SummerSlams in Cleveland this year. Any huge wrestling event, no matter what the company, we always find a way to have a fun show. Hunkamania, my brother books everything, and it's a blast. So I've been actually getting a couple reps in, and that's kind of cool. The extent of my superhero knowledge is my buddy said, you have to watch Iron Man. You'll love this guy because I know you don't do superheroes. I know you don't read comics, any of these things. But he said, I'm absolutely starving. Get me a dirty martini. And I said, okay, I can relate to this guy. And that's the extent of my superhero knowledge.
And of course, we are in the KDAWN studios with the TNA World Champion Moose and his challenger for the weekend, Nick Nemeth, as this is going to be an incredible clash at the Palms, Saturday, April 20th. Man, you got to get down there. If there's any tickets left, buy them up and check this match out, along with an unbelievable card that is going to be coming up down there, plus the Impact Live TV tapings on Sunday as well, as these gentlemen are going to be duking it out for the world title. And I got to say, you two seem to have a healthy respect for each other. I mean, I don't know how I'd be feeling if somebody, I won a world championship and somebody jumped me in the middle of the ring right after I won it. I'd pretty much be ready to rip their head off. But you two guys are actually seem to be showing a little bit of, I kind of feel like, this is going to be a great challenge on either side.
I mean, I'm professional. Like I said, like you said, I played in the NFL for 7+ years, and I don't think going into a match pissed off is very smart. So I'm not gonna go into this match pissed off at Nick. I'm gonna go in this match with a game plan that is gonna guarantee me victory, and I have to be smart about it. I have to do the things that I need to do, and I don't need to cloud my brain by being angry and wanting to kill this guy, even though that's what I'm going to end up doing. Saturday night is beating the hell out of him, but I have to be smart about it. I mean, I have tons of respect for Nick. I think he's a great wrestler. I mean, look at his career, look at his track record. I mean, he's done a lot of great things, but he's never stepped into the ring with a guy like myself, a guy who previously called himself a wrestling god. He's never done that. So good luck to him Saturday night.
Yeah, Nick, what do you think about that? I mean, like I said, it seems like you guys are really, feeling a amount of respect for each other. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, if the door outside said gentlemen, I would pay no heed and not make my way inside because I am no gentleman. But I completely understand the business of professional wrestling, and being angry right now would make no sense. I'd rather let everyone know the intricacies of myself and Moose as we go on to the title fight, because that's where the money is. That's where we want people to come see it. We do it right now. A couple people see it online later and it's over with, and there's nothing for Saturday. Saturday is a huge card already, and it's going to be fun. Rebellion is going to be a blast. That locker room wants to outdo each other every single match, and when it comes down to the very last match, that will be one of the best matches you've ever seen one way or another. And I really appreciate the years that Moose has put in, but I love that he said he's thinking of a game plan for Saturday. Yeah, should my cronies come out 5 minutes in or 15 minutes in or 20 minutes in to try and help me save the match? That is a lot to worry about when you're managing, that many children or paying them. I don't know how the friend thing works, but what I think about is everything that he's done athletically, physically, verbally to me. That will be all part of this slow build up to a chess game to once that bell rings, then it does become a fight. Then we do hate each other. And he makes a great point. I'm not going to cloud my head with rage right now. No. I have a game plan also. And it's to show everybody in the world, someone who says he's the best is going to get beat by me. And I can't wait to celebrate in Vegas afterwards.
A question for Nick is, what happens when I beat him and I don't need any help from anybody?
I would be very proud of you. But so far, I mean, history repeats itself. I haven't seen that happen since I've been here, since before I got here, or since months before I got here. So if you are going to go out above and beyond to try and outdo me one-on-one, I welcome that. That is a genuine gentleman's duel. I would be all for it. And if I lost giving everything I possibly could, then I would understand that, you know what, you are better than me. You deserve to be champion. And the second that doesn't happen, and I wipe the floor with you, even with all your buddies running in, and I hold up that title and the entire world has a champion they can look up to and be proud of, then it's a different story.
See, the problem here is Nick hasn't done his homework. He's thinking about this version of Moose, but forgetting that I'm a 3-time TNA world champion.
So you lost it 3 other times?
Well, I'm a 3-time
Two other
TNA
times.
world champion.
Sorry, 2 other times.
And I didn't have Eddie, I didn't have Brian Myers, and I didn't have Lish the other 2 times when I won it. So,
why do you have them now?
Because if we're family, that's why I have them now.
Okay.
But
my family's going to be there, but they're going to be sitting in the crowd, so I don't really understand this. But I appreciate it.
Just to let you know, I don't need those guys to win championships because I've done it 2 other times without them.
Moose, will you make the promise that the system's going to stay in the back for this match? Will you do it right now on KDAWN on the Mark Hoke Show? Will you do it?
If you want me to do it,
do you want to do it?
I promise you, the system won't be out there.
Come on.
Oh, there you go. Nick. Are you buying it?
Absolutely not.
No?
But you know what? I appreciate his dedication to the bit of telling the truth to you right now. I love that you thought a wrestler came on your show and was telling you the truth.
The system will not be part of this match. I'm going to beat Nick Nemeth clean in the ring 1, 2, 3 by myself.
Wow. That is something that's been said by a lot of people, but not so much done. But I look forward to it. A fair fight would be awesome. I think you can go. I think you're athletic as hell. I think you got the brain for it now as you're coming into your own, but you will never be me. And I cannot wait to beat someone who's doing really well and really up and coming, because one day in 10 years, 20 years, when I retire, you can take my place.
We will see how this all turns out. It is going to be a terrific main event from two of the best wrestlers in the world at TNA Rebellion. Once again, that's going to be Saturday, April 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be kicking off here. I believe the kickoff show starts at 4 o'clock, and you're going to be able to, of course, see it here live in Las Vegas on Triller TV and on pay-per-view. But I just recommend in town, go see this thing. And of course, we're going to have Impact Live on Sunday as well. So these guys, I'm sure, will be in action on Sunday. It is going to be a fantastic weekend for TNA. If you weren't down there the last time, these guys put on a terrific show, and it is going to be another unbelievable weekend at the Palms with Moose, Nick Nemeth, and the rest of the TNA team. We want to thank you guys for coming in here on the Mark Hoke Show and SportsX Radio. Gentlemen, I wish you all the best. We'll see how this goes, and we'll see if there's going to be a new TNA champion or if Moose is going to hang on and keep that belt. It should be an unreal night at the Palms coming up on Saturday. Gentlemen, thank you for coming in. Really do appreciate it. Pleasure seeing you in person for the first time.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to be here. Two of the best wrestlers in the world, me being the best and whoever's in the ring with me being the second best. It's going to be great this Saturday.
There you go, guys. Nick Nemeth and Moose. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, and there you go. Moose and Nick Nemeth. And now we can say how that turned out. Ladies and gentlemen, Moose is still your TNA World Champion. And when we come back, we're going to get into how it all happened. Because, well, Moose, he didn't quite keep his promise. But he did keep the result. We'll talk about what all happened last night at the Palms in TNA Rebellion when we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. And thanks to Moose and Nick Nemeth and TNA, Ross Foreman and the gang for having the guys come out. We certainly do appreciate it. Stick around. We're going to break down what happened at TNA Rebellion for the rest of hour number one. And then we're going to get into AEW Dynasty and some big WWE news. Some people are hurt. It's not good. We'll be back right after this.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Waiting on a tax return? Hopefully it ends up in your hands. Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues. And all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Help protect your information this tax season with LifeLock. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part this spring. Clean up vehicle leaks and spills. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Apply fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. Avoid sprinkler runoff. Don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting lovenvwaters.com and following us on social media. This message sponsored by the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free, show your pharmacist your digital card, and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll. Visit ArrayRxCard.com to learn more and sign up today.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ready for your next vacation? Not so fast. Before you hit the road, remember these healthy habits to keep yourself and others safe and sanitary. Wash your hands after using the restroom, before eating and after blowing your nose. Sanitize airplane seats and tray tables. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or your elbow. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Lastly, make sure you're up to date on all your routine vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. It's also important to get tested when necessary, such as if you develop COVID-19 symptoms before, during, or after travel. If you will be traveling to visit someone who is at a higher risk of getting very sick from COVID-19, or if you're in a situation with a greater risk of exposure during travel. Pack these tips on your next adventure. And remember, travel safely, Nevadans. This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, as we get back to the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Pretty awesome day over at the Palms as TNA Rebellion invaded Las Vegas. Pretty cool day at the Palms, and want to thank everybody who welcomed us over there, and a terrific job by Ross Foreman getting everything set up for us. We want to thank him very much. It was an awesome time. And by the way, I got to give a shout out to one of the boys from Sky High, and Matt Vandegrift got to help out a little protest in the ring. And Matt Vandegrift on the mic. Got to give a big shout out to Matt. Of course, he got beat up by Diener. They both did, but whatever. But good to hear Matt cutting a promo out there. Because if you haven't seen Matt at Future Stars of Wrestling, of course, he was doing a lot of work with the New Japan Dojo. Great to see him go. I mean, he's one of the best guys out there on the indie scene, and it's just terrific. I'm really happy for those guys getting a chance there on TNA on a pay-per-view too. Very cool. So, way to go, gentlemen. Nice job. All right, so let's talk about what happened last night. And when it saw Jason Archuleta, I believe, was in the chat box there. Talking about, said Rebellion was awesome. Yeah, it was. And he mentioned something really nasty that happened last night. Yeah, a little Eric Young took a little bit of an owie. No back teen on that one. I think he was going to need a little more than that. But let's take a look at what happened on that card yesterday as soon as I get my notes back up here, because I was looking at something else here real quick. So here were your results from yesterday. Kickoff show, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Leon Slater knocked off Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and Myron Reed. Nice match to get things going. The only title change of the night, and I may have spoiled it for you a little bit, but the TNA Digital Media Championship changes hands as Laredo Kid knocks off Crazy Steve. Nice Spanish fly there for the win. So Laredo Kid takes Crazy Steve out. And by the way, Crazy Steve is legally blind. He can only see like shapes. It's unbelievable. The guy can actually wrestle. But Laredo Kid is your new TNA digital media champion. Jody Threat and Danny Luna. Spitfire hang on, beat Decay for and defend their Knockout World Tag Team Championships. So pretty good match there. That was a lot of fun. And then we get to the pay-per-view. Very nice national anthem played on the electric guitar by DJ Ashba. Really like that. Good job kicking that show off. And then the X Division Championship, of course, we had Jake Something on the show, who is facing off with the champion Mustafa Ali. Very good match. Got everything rolling there. But too many people around the ring as Mustafa's kind of doing a little presidential gig. And he had a Secret Service troop out there and just too much Ali. But it was pretty, Jake handled it well, but Mustafa cheated a little bit to win, but he does get the victory. So Mustafa Ali gets the victory, and he is facing off with Chris Bay tonight. So that should be a absolute fantastic match. So be ready for that one. So, I mean, honestly, that might be worth the price of admission alone to see those two guys go at it. This one got a little wild. Wasn't ready for this one because I believe in Joe Hendry. He faced off with Rich Swann. And, of course, he and AJ Francis, remember him as Top Dollar on WWE programming. And he and Joe Hendry have a little thing going. But Rich Swann gets the win. But, yeah, Sean Merriman, of course, the former NFL player, was in the audience, and it looked like that AJ and Merriman were going to get into it, but nope. Merriman ends up joining up with the gang of dastardly villains from in AJ's group, and unfortunately for Joe Hendry, yeah, it didn't go well, not at all, to say the least. So, yeah, that took care of that, and Rich Swann gets the victory over Joe Hendry after a rather nasty beatdown. But boy, Sean Merriman's huge. Yikes. Yeah, that was a little rough. But yeah, pretty brutal beatdown, and not many people were singing Joe Hendry's song after that one was over. But a nice win for, I guess, for Rich Swann. Well, then we had the Full Metal Mayhem match, and this is one that was brought up in the chat box, but we'd love to hear your comments about it in the chat box. Full Metal Mayhem, so basically anything goes. Frankie Kazarian taking on Eric Young, and this one ended on a very bad spot as Frank Kazarian does a flux capacitor onto a table. So there's a table in the ring, and it was pointing in the direction of the corner, and it's kind of a rolling moonsault side slam. So you got to kind of picture this, that Frankie's got his back to the table, and he's bringing Eric through, and Eric doesn't land on the table. He kind of catches his head on the side of it, snaps the corner, and got absolutely gashed. It was not good. The match was quickly ended. Frankie gets the pin, and the TNA staff is rushing in. Put some pictures up on the Mark Hoke Show X account, but they got in there fast, and they put a towel over him and got him out of there as quick as they could. Eric Young was absolutely cut open, but Frank Kazarian gets a nice win for himself. Not sure if that was the plan, but Kazarian walks out of TNA Rebellion with a victory. So I would imagine that feud is probably not done. But a nice win for Frankie Kazarian. Steve Macklin then heads out to the ring, and he's talking about making an impact at TNA Rebellion. And all of a sudden, Santino Marella shows up. That's right, our buddy Santino. I have a surprise for you. It was not a pizza pie. Nope, it was Mike Santana. That's right, from Pride and Powerful. Yep, of course, Santana and Ortiz. Of course, those guys split up, and Mike Santana shows up. They have an impromptu match, and Santana looked great. I mean, wow. Looked unreal. Wrestled a terrific match against a former TNA World Champion. Gets the win, and a outstanding effort by Mike Santana as he makes a surprise debut at TNA Rebellion, and he is officially back with the company. Of course, Santana and Ortiz had some legendary matches in TNA, and now Santana going on his own. So nice win for him to kick off his new run in TNA. TNA World Tag Team Championships were on the line as the system. Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards take on Speedball Mike Bailey and Trent Seven, of course, known as Speedball Mountain. And probably was definitely one of the best matches of the night, no doubt about it. An awesome spot where Speedball was coming out of the ring and Brian Myers just comes off the apron and spears him straight into a grave. I mean, he killed him. Just killed him. And it ended up setting up Myers and Edwards for the finish, and Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards retain the TNA World Tag Team Championships. But a terrific match. Everyone did a fantastic job. And I'll tell you, Mike Bailey, Speedball, is just one of the most underrated wrestlers in the world. Just terrific job. And not that Trent Simmons is a bad wrestler. He's amazing too. But boy, I'll tell you, Mike Bailey, just unreal. But a great match. And boy, Brian Myers just continues to impress. And of course, Eddie Edwards was part of the American Wolves with Davey Richards for a long time. Those guys are an unreal team. And should be getting some love as time goes by here. But a nice win for those guys to retain the World Tag Team Championships. Last man standing match, and this is one I was really excited for. Josh Alexander taking on Alexander Hammerstone. And these guys, well, they not as many weapons and things like that for quite a while. More of a, we're just gonna beat the crap out of each other until one of us doesn't get up. Until the thumbtacks came out, and Josh Alexander dumping some thumbtacks on the floor. And well, it did not pay off for him as Hammerstone does his nightmare pendulum move off the top rope into and Alexander takes the brunt of the thumbtacks. So that didn't go well, at least at the moment. But Hammerstone did get a spike pile driver on Hammerstone outside the ring on the ramp and ends up getting the 10 count. So Josh Alexander wins the third match of the trilogy. We'll see where that leads Josh Alexander. Maybe that gets him back into a feud with Moose at some point, but who knows? The contenders are starting to line up for the Moose Man. Jonathan Gresham, crazy vignette, by the way, was shown on there. Of course, he's in his octopus thing and the mask and ink and all sorts of crazy stuff going on there. His hands coming out of his mouth. And yeah, so Jonathan Gresham just signed with him with TNA, and yeah, they're doing this octopus thing up. That is for sure. Knockouts Championship, Jordan Grace, she got into some craziness, and that match, lots of people coming in and out. The Good Hands were at ringside. Big Con comes out. PCO's out there. Sammy Callahan makes his return to TNA, so he's back. And Jordan Grace ends up beating Steph DeLander. Yeah. But DeLander looked good, by the way. And then, of course, the final match of the night, Moose beats Nick Nemeth, but they got rid of all the system gang early as Elisa Edwards just blatant interference right in front of the referee. Everyone got thrown out, but Moose wins it somewhat cleanly, but it kind of looked like Nick got his shoulder up. A lot of people think that Moose actually pulled his arm up, and it was kind of interesting finish. But so maybe gives Nick an out, but Nick Nemeth does not win the TNA World Championship, and people may be questioning that, but maybe they're setting up a rematch. And then Matt Hardy shows up. And apparently Matt Hardy is going to be kind of doing an in and out thing. He's not signed a full-time contract with TNA, but Moose gets another surprise at the end of a pay-per-view in Las Vegas again. So, but Moose does survive, and he remains the TNA World Champion. A great night over at the Palms. But Moose is still your TNA World Champion. More to come on the Mark Hoke Show, and more to come with TNA tonight. Guys, you can still get your tickets. Go to TNAWrestling.com or head on over to the Palms. 4 p.m. tonight for the TV tapings. Going to be setting a lot of stuff up for the next pay-per-view. But we hope to see you down there. And we hope to see you for the next hour of the Mark Hoke Show. Let me get a little more TNA talk, but we've got AEW Dynasty. Big pay-per-view tonight for them. We've also got some huge WWE news, releases, injuries. And Cody Rhodes has his next challenger, by the way. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more when we return on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. So stick around. We got a whole lot more coming up. We'll be right back.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
There's breaking news all day long from around the world, and sometimes all that noise makes it hard to hear about what's happening right here at home. With the free Odyssey app, getting your local news plus breaking news is easy. And even when you're not near a radio, stay connected with what's going on right here by listening live and push alerts. Just download the free Odyssey app and search and follow your local news station, and you're good to go. The local breaking news to get you through your day at your fingertips on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
My son stopped talking to me. He didn't want to leave his room. I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
I was really worried about my daughter. She was angry all the time.
I felt so depressed.
I was really worried about my daughter.
I couldn't do anything right. I was always getting yelled at.
My son told me he wanted to hurt himself. I was so scared.
I was feeling hopeless. It was all too much.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
I needed help. I called the mobile crisis response team, and we met with them that same day. A crisis team came to my house and helped me talk to my parents about how I was feeling.
I called the mobile crisis response team. They met with us that day.
I talked to them about how I was feeling, and it really helped.
Sometimes understanding what children are experiencing can be difficult. The Nevada Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team provides mental health intervention and support. Learn more at nocrisis.com.
This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Citizens Academy Alumni Association, a nonprofit organization separate and apart from the FBI in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association.
Are you shopping for healthcare coverage for a small business? Whether you're renewing a plan or shopping for a new one, the Vegas Chamber Health Plan, backed by Anthem, has many of the advantages usually reserved for a larger organization, like access to care across Nevada at lower cost. Lock in quality health care at budget-friendly prices through July 2024. Go to vegaschamber.com/anthem. Brought to you by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The FBI is engaged in a nationwide effort to build public awareness of hate crimes and encourage reporting to law enforcement. Hate crimes include crimes committed on the basis of the victim's perceived or actual race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. Hate crimes are not only an attack on the victim, they are meant to threaten and intimidate an entire community. If you believe you are a victim or a witness of a hate crime, we encourage you to report it to the FBI by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. You may remain anonymous. Again, report suspected hate crimes by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. The FBI works to protect all victims of crimes, regardless of their country of national origin or immigration status. The FBI encourages victims and witnesses of any hate-related incident to report it to law enforcement. This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Division, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
KMXB HD3 Henderson, K260HCS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 101.5 FM KDAWN.
Opening arguments Monday. I'm Deborah Valentine.
Fox News. A full jury has been selected for Monday's start of opening arguments in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York City. Fox's Madeline Rivera gives the rundown on what to expect.
Former President Trump is blasting the trial with a series of new posts on his platform Truth Social. The post comes one day after an appeals court rejected the Trump team's motion to delay the trial as they try to move the case out of Manhattan, where they argue folks are too biased to give the former president a fair shake. And it appears he's getting some backup from Michael Avenatti, the former attorney of adult film star Stormy Daniels. Avenatti says there's no question the trial is politically motivated because they're concerned that he may be reelected.
And this marks the very first criminal trial against a former president in U.S. history. More U.S. military aid is being sent to Ukraine, with House approving $61 billion in funding on Saturday. Fox's Greg Palcott reports from Kyiv.
Desperate times in Ukraine. More than 2 years into the war, and Russia is gaining ground with a massive advantage in artillery and Ukraine short of air defenses, leaving infrastructure shattered. Outsiders concerned this American military veteran is fighting and training alongside Ukrainians. He speaks from the front line in the country's east.
We need aid right now to stop the current Russian offensive actions that are happening. So we need that aid right now to just hold that back.
And they're getting it. Along with help to Israel and Taiwan, the House of Representatives okaying $61 billion in aid stuck in Congress for months.
Aid to Israel and Taiwan also being approved by the House as part of that $95 billion spending package. It now heads to the Senate for consideration. The WNBA has signed a multi-year partnership with the first ever over-the-counter birth control pill, Pirogo. America's listening to Fox News.
From the Fox News Podcast Network.
I'm Emily Campagno, and this is the Fox True Crime Podcast.
And I had nothing to do with her disappearance, but people still accuse me of it.
I sit down with the people who lived the nightmares.
I was in shock. I was just devastated.
The investigators who tirelessly worked on the case.
I feel for their families, and I really hope that they can catch this guy.
Bringing you closer to the story than you
At foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts. From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Listen to the all-new Brett Baier podcast featuring Common Ground, talking to lawmakers weekly from opposite sides of the political spectrum about the issues of the day and how Americans can find common ground in a politicized world.
That's just not happening on Capitol Hill. It takes leadership, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Along with all your Brett Baier favorites like the campaign, the candidates, the all-star panel, and much more. Available now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action. And bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Very happy to have you with us for hour number 2. Let's do it one more time, shall we? Oh, still trying to recover from rebellion last night. And yeah, I'm going to mention it. Could you guys in Las Vegas that, love living here, but we learn how to drive. I just got a new car 3.5 weeks ago, and some dullard hit me in the parking lot or the parking garage at the Palms. So thanks. Thanks a lot. And I will say, we're too nice about it either. We'll just leave it at that. So a little better driving, kids. There's no such thing as a blind spot in a parking garage. Unbelievable. There, I feel a little better. I could say more, but I won't. Work on driving skills. Maybe, take a driver's test. Maybe open your eyes. It's a decent-sized black car in a parking garage in a line that wasn't moving. Cage match. Call it now. By the way, buying Scoop's in the chat box. Good to see you, Scoop. What's going on, brother? Don't forget tonight. It's like, maybe I'll get the other side of my car hit. They just got the back panel, but it's a little messed up. Maybe I'll get the driver's side hit too, just for fun. Match it up. But tonight, of course, at the Palms, we have the TNA TV tapings. So I'll kind of cover things for the next few weeks. Some great matches coming up there. So make sure that you take the time to get down there. If you haven't got your tickets already, come down and check it out. It is going to be great. Nick Nemeth, not the world champ. And I got to say, it would have to have been very tempting to put the belt on him and take it off Moose. But honestly, I might have done it. I might have pulled the trigger. But credit to TNA. They stuck with their guy. But Nick Nemeth will be facing off with Eddie Edwards tonight. You can't really blame Eddie Edwards. Those guys got thrown out of ringside pretty early in the match. So wasn't really any outside interference for the most part. It was one little ankle grab by Eddie's wife, and that was about it. But Nick will be taking on Eddie Edwards. Jordan Grace is going to be in action tonight. This one I'm looking forward to. And don't know if there will be a title change or anything on this, but former X Division champion and one of Las Vegas's favorite wrestlers, Chris Bay, is taking on Mustafa Ali tonight. Get ready for a wild match there. That's going to be fun. Zaya Brookside is taking on Ash by Elegance, so we're going to get to see her in the ring. Mike Bailey and Brian Myers. And Speedball owes Brian Myers one from last night. Oh, man. What a great spear by Myers. Oh, that was just that. That is one of the moments I'm going to remember from that one. That was incredible. Zachary Wentz takes on Leon Slater. Of course, Wentz from the Rascals. And Bundy's going to be there. So get ready for that. Should be pretty cool. And, much more. And I would imagine we're going to hear from the champ. He's going to have a few things to say about his victory last night. So get ready. Well, and of course, a lot of other matches too. I still haven't figured out what the hell happened to that Jordan Grace Steph DeLander match last night. That was just all hell broke loose in that one. So I read a couple one review that said it was overbooked in a fun way. No, WrestleMania was overbooked in a fun way. This one, it was okay. Yeah, it got a little crazy. But I want to say this about Steph DeLander, though. First time I've actually gotten to see her, and I was about 3 or 4 rows back. She made Jordan Grace, while she's not tall, is very physically imposing, obviously. Bodybuilding type. And Steph DeLander really made looked very physically imposing next to Jordan Grace. That's not easy to do. And she looked good. I give DeLander a lot of credit. Wrestled a great match. Kind of had to say hitting on PCO to try to save her butt. I don't know if that worked out well, but otherwise, that was fun. But Steph DeLander looked pretty good last night too. I thought overall everybody did a pretty good job. It was a good card. Good card. But once again, only one title change. Laredo Kid walks out with the digital media title. But Moose decks Nick Nemeth and wins the title. Whew. Wow. But Matt Hardy shows up at the end and is broken Matt Hardy. The crowd's deleting all over the place. He's holding up the TNA World Championship. Poor Moose. He wins the world title and Nemeth shows up. Last time he's here in Las Vegas. And then this time Matt Hardy shows up. What's the guy got to do? I mean, if the next time, let me give my friend Moose a piece of advice. The next time you're here in Vegas, win and run. Run. You get your hand raised. You guys all bolt to the back. Just go home. Go home. If you have a suite at the Palms, look, just get there. The elevators aren't far away. Let's do it. Oh, poor guy. But yeah, fun night and another one coming up tonight. So come on over to the Palms. By the way, if you happen to know me, I might have a ticket or two. So just saying. Or maybe drop me a line on social media. If you follow me on Twitter or X at Mark Hoke Show, or you know me on Facebook, I may have a ticket. So just drop me a line and maybe I'll help you out. All right. Now, of course, with the TNA Rebellion pay-per-view over, we've got more to come tonight because AEW is not sitting around. They are in St. Louis tonight for the Dynasty pay-per-view. 12 matches, 8 championship matches. That's a lot. That's a lot. But Tony's ready to roll. Oh, yeah. Tony made a little bit of news this week, too. Some, okay. We got a winner-take-all match for the AEW World Trios Championship and the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Championship. So 6 guys are wrestling for 6 belts. Should be fun. As the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn take on, and of course they are the AEW Trios Champions, take on Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, and the Guns, who are the ROH Six-Man Trios Champions, excuse me. So they'll face off. We get Trent Beretta and Matt Sydal, which is going to be, that'll be a fun match to kick things off. Orange Cassidy and Shibata are taking on Shane Taylor Promotions. So that's Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Anthony Ogogo will be in the corner. So that's the thing. Cassidy's mad. I don't blame him for Trent Beretta turning on him. These guys have been friends for quite a while, but yeah, so Orange Cassidy. But Cassidy's showing a little bit of a streak. So good for him. But yeah, I would imagine Orange Cassidy's boy and Shibata will walk out with that one. The 6-man match, I don't know. That's going to be fun. I think that'll be a great match to watch. We get a trios match. Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and the new Ring of Honor World Champion, Mark Briscoe, who took the belt off Kingston. And Adam Copeland, of course, is the TNT champion. Taking on the House of Black. And, of course, Brody King's been messing with Copeland, and Malachi Black has been looking to challenge Copeland. So that one should be a fun one. Looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a pretty exciting match. Of course, Mark Briscoe has been getting in the House of Black's business. So pretty excited for that match. I think that one's got some pretty good potential. Hook faces Chris Jericho for Hook's FTW championship. And of course, I'm not sure. This has been weird. Chris kind of took Hook on, they wrestled, and then Chris took Hook under his wing, and then they tried to talk it out with Taz in the ring. Of course, Hook is Taz's son, and of course, Jericho and Taz go a long way back, and then Chris got mad at Taz, and Chris pushed Taz. That started a rather, the chant that you would expect to be heard when you push Taz. I don't think anybody should push Taz at any point. I don't care if Taz is 90 years old. You don't push Taz. Very bad decision. They let him know that. So Hook gets Chris Jericho, and they just wrestled too. So I don't know. I can't say I'm that excited about that match. Roderick Strong will be defending the AEW International Championship against his old friend, Kyle O'Reilly. Should be a good one here. Of course, these guys know each other very well, so I wouldn't expect anything less than a pretty outstanding match. Can't imagine Roddy's going to lose the title this fast, but you never know. But Roderick Strong defends the AEW International Championship there. Julia Hart takes on Willow Nightingale with that pesky Stokely Hathaway in her corner. This is a house rules match for the AEW TBS Championship, so we get a little extra special stipulation. Don't know what that'll be. But Julia Hart, who's just been wrestling fantastic. And Willow Nightingale, maybe she's getting a little bit of a nasty streak. We'll see. But should be a fun match there with Julia taking on Willow. I would imagine Julia will probably walk out still TBS champion, but who knows? This next one for the AEW Continental Championship, it's Okada and Pac. Oh, feed me that one all day long. Oh, I would love that. That one is going to be an absolute war. Of course, Pac finally just got back from injury. So the Rainmaker gets Pac. And, Pac is one of those guys that just always seems to just fly under everybody's radar. And he's one of the best on the planet at doing what he does. And you put him in the ring with Okada, and I cannot imagine what these two are going to do together. But this should be very exciting. So looking forward to seeing the Rainmaker taking on Pac. I can't imagine Okada's going to take a loss this early in his AEW tenure. Of course, Okada probably one of the top 3 to 5 wrestlers in the world. But no way he takes a loss this quickly, but still should be an incredible match. So we get Okada and Pac tonight. The Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas, the EVPs, face FTR for the 4th time. It is the tournament final for the vacant AEW World Tag Team Championship. It is a ladder match. I don't know why we need a ladder, but hey, why not? Let's have some fun. We'll see if the EVPs knock off FTR this time. And, of course, the dreaded CM Punk Jack Perry video was shown from All In, and that was the reason the Young Bucks claim they lost their match to them at All In. It distracted them. They were EVPs, and it was a distraction. They couldn't handle being EVPs and wrestling at the same time. Okay. I've only been doing it for, 4.5 years now, but all right, we'll take it. Whatever you guys want to write. But obviously 2 of the best tag teams in the world. Should be a terrific match. Looking forward to seeing these guys do a fun ladder match. So we get Young Bucks FTR again. Winner walks out with the AEW World Tag titles. Toni Storm trying to keep her blessed Mariah May by her side and her manservant Luther take on Thunder Rosa, who has been on fire since she's come back, and the fans are really behind her right now. Match for the AEW Women's World Championship. I don't know. This one's kind of up in the air. I probably should have checked the betting odds on these too, but wouldn't be totally surprised if Thunder Rosa walks out with the title. Of course, she never lost it. Had to vacate it a while back, and that created the whole interim championship situation that Tony just got totally messed up on. So we get to see Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa coming up here tonight in AEW Dynasty. That should be just a really good ladies match. Looking forward to it. And then we have the 2 main event matches. You got to call these a co-main event. I cannot imagine two better builds, that we've had. I mean, this one you could have just said, these two are wrestling, go. You wouldn't need a darn thing. Will Ospreay takes on Bryan Danielson. Thank you. We're good. That's a main event. Anywhere, anytime, any place. You could have just said, we're gonna put these two together, start printing tickets. Here's your money. We're all good. This is going to be interesting. But the intriguing part is, with Ospreay just signing, what do you do on this? Do you give Danielson another loss? Is this, you don't want to make this whole, because Danielson's been losing some matches lately. Do you really want Bryan Danielson to be on the, hey, it's nice I'm getting to wrestle everybody, but I'm a loser, baby. No, I don't know. But of course, you just officially signed Ospreay. Obviously he's been popping in and out of AEW, but now that he's officially part of the company, do you want to give him a loss? I don't know. Let's maybe make this a time limit draw or something like that. Just let him go at it and put on an exhibition. I'd be okay with that. Drag this one out. Let's do this 3 or 4 times. I'm good with it. But Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson, a real dream match coming up tonight at AEW Dynasty. And then the main event. And obviously this one has been building up for a long time after we had that triple threat. It is Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland coming up for the AEW World title. And both men doing unbelievable work. Swerve has been pushing and pushing and pushing as he looks to become the first Black World Champion in AEW. And, I don't know. They've both been working so well. It's a difficult decision to decide who you're going to pull the trigger on here. I guess to a point it depends, who you're kind of seeing down the road as your world champion. If, is MJF getting ready to come back? We know Adam Cole's not. We're going to get to that story a little bit later. But what a tough decision that's going to be. Do you keep Swerve in the chase? Maybe have somebody screw with Swerve to take him out of this one and keep Joe on top? Because people are loving, I'll tell you what, people are absolutely loving Samoa Joe as world champion. No complaints out of me or anybody else. He has been fantastic. Should have been the world champ when he was wrestling Brock Lesnar in WWE. Vince. But he has been outstanding. And, but maybe this is the night you finally get the coronation of Swerve Strickland. We'll find out at AEW Dynasty tonight, but that is your card for this one coming out of St. Louis. It should be pretty cool. So looking forward to this one. If you have any thoughts about what you're thinking about AEW Dynasty tonight, you can get in that chat box. We would love to hear your thoughts about who you think is going to win. Who's winning that one? Who's winning the Ospreay match? I want to hear from you. Hit us up on social media. X is probably the best way to catch us right now. Of course, you can also go to YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show or on Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Hop in the chat box. What do you think? I want to get your thoughts on TNA Rebellion, too. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Should Nick Nemeth have been the winner? Curious to hear what you think. It's some fascinating decisions. And, these booking decisions are not easy for everybody. And especially, it was a few years ago when it was just WWE and we just didn't have almost anybody near the main that deserved to be in the main event, that deserved to be at the top of the card. We were just kind of circulating Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, just like had 2 pairs of underwear in the drawer. Well, now the wardrobe closet's been unlocked everywhere, and it's a way different ballgame. Who do you like on top? Do you like Samoa Joe? Do you want to hang on and maybe wait for MJF or somebody else, maybe you put Swerve on top and maybe send Christian after him and just have a heel versus heel situation. What do? Let me know. So let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this. And we've got some major WWE news. Some people got some boo-boos. And one person had to vacate a championship this week. An absolute heartbreaker in WWE. Oh, man. Two of WWE's best have been sent to the sideline. And unfortunately, a few have been sent to the unemployment line. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. So stick around, everybody. More to come on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. And, of course, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be right back.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a Pregnancy Risk Assessment Monitoring System survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Join the Vegas Chamber today. Being a member of the Vegas Chamber sends a powerful message of credibility and that your business is connected to a larger community of organizations dedicated to ensuring Nevada is a great place to live, work, and do business. Joining the Vegas Chamber and becoming part of the largest business organization in Nevada has never been easier. Grow your business within your budget. Visit vegaschamber.com and join today. Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part this spring. Clean up vehicle leaks and spills. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Apply fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. Avoid sprinkler runoff. Don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting lovenvwaters.com and following us on social media. This message sponsored by the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Hey, let's keep it rolling here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. Top rated show on our station. Live show, anyway, I should say that. Certainly do appreciate all of our listeners, and I know a bunch of them got to go to TNA Rebellion last night. We got a bunch more going to Impact Live TV tapings tonight. And by the way, got a message online from Marissa, who was one of our ticket winners, and just took the time to say thank you. And she had a blast. Said our voices are so sore. Well, I'm glad you had a great time, Marissa, and thank you for listening to the show. We do appreciate every one of you that takes time out to listen, follows us on social media. you all mean so much to me and all of us here at KDAWN and Odyssey Las Vegas. So thank you. That's all I can really say. Thank you so much. By the way, I just did over the break get a second to get some of the betting odds on betonline.ag. And yes, you can bet on wrestling. And all you have to do if you want to get a little bonus to check out the site, because they have all sorts of different sports on and politics and everything on that site. Here's your betting odds for Dynasty tonight. For some of the matches, they don't have them all. Okada is a minus 5,000 against Pac. Pac is a plus 1,200. Roderick Strong is minus 700. Kyle O'Reilly plus 400 in that international championship match. Tony Storm is a minus 1,000 against Thunder Rosa, who is a plus 550 for the women's title. This one's interesting. I don't know. This might be worth throwing a little bit down just for fun. But Swerve Strickland is a minus 1,000 for the world title. Samoa Joe is a plus 550. So if you don't know what that means, by the way, if you put down 100, you win. You would have to put down, like if Samoa Joe is a plus 550, you put down 100, you'd win 550. So that's how that works. And it just goes in the other direction for a minus bet. Young Bucks are a minus 2,000 to FDR's plus 700. Will Ospreay is a minus 2,000 favorite on Bryan Danielson. So expect the Danielson I'm going to get beat tour to continue. And this is the only one that's even close that they have listed here. House of Black is a minus 175 favorite to beat Copeland, Kingston, and Briscoe. So they are pretty sure about a lot of these matches tonight. Interesting. Huh. Okay. I'm cool with that. I'm not 100% sold that Swerve's walking out tonight. I would say probably. But I don't know. This is what I said about the Nick Nemeth situation here. That even though would it seem to make sense to put the title on Nick, a more well-known personality in pro wrestling and in pop culture? Yeah. But at the same time, the chase gets more eyes than when you're actually there. Think about a guy like Dusty Rhodes, for example. Back when Dusty would win the NWA title, but he didn't hold it very long. He would have those long chases against Harley Race, the long chases against Ric Flair. It would take him forever before he'd finally win. And you had the Starrcade where it had Joe Frazier as the referee and had the blood stoppage because Dusty was bleeding too much, and they stopped the match, and everybody was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Oh, come on. Dusty bleeds all the time. This is stupid. But eventually Dusty got him. Think about what happened with Cody Rhodes. Took 2 years. Cody finally got him, and look what the payoff was. Maybe this is a situation where, Swerve is going to win, but maybe this isn't the time. Maybe you want to keep teasing Swerve winning the championship. I don't know. Very interesting thought on that, but I'm good either way. But gosh, Joe is just doing such a great job. And I just love the way he wrestles. I love his poise. He's one of the power guys that actually uses his power, and doesn't just kind of goof around in there a little bit. He's a monster, and he knows it. So he acts like a monster, and he acts confident, and he does everything a pro wrestler is supposed to do. And I just enjoy him a lot. So I'm not going to be heartbroken if he holds on to the title tonight. We'll see. Boy, WWE land, a lot going on over there. Let's talk about the goodbyes, at least the temporary ones. Rhea Ripley has had to vacate the WWE Women's Championship What a heartbreak. Of course, she won the title at WrestleMania 39, knocking off Charlotte Flair, what ended up being PWI's match of the year. She got hurt in that little skit they did with Liv Morgan, where Liv threw her into a locker backstage. And what should have really been nothing, well, and I know about this one, injured her AC joint that connects your collarbone and your shoulder during that backstage attack vignette. Well, it turns out she sprained it. And when you sprain that, there's a little capsule in there too that kind of keeps everything lubricated and stuff up. And that'll really mess you up. Well, that's 4 to 6 weeks to get the mobility back. And then it takes generally about 3+ months to rehabilitate that. So she's going to be out for a while. And that was why she had to lay down the WWE Women's title. So Rhea Ripley is gone. And trust me on this one, it's sometimes very iffy if you need surgery or not. So it could even be even longer than that. So Rhea Ripley is out of action, and WWE decide, well, we're not going to mess around. We're going to crown a new champ pretty fast. So there is going to be a battle royal on Raw on Monday to determine a new women's world champion. So we're going to have a new champ. Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Natalya, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, Maxine Dupree, Tegan Knox, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Ivy Nile, and one person has already been eliminated. We will get to that, but that is your group that will be wrestling for that women's title. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. They've been talking about giving Liv the push. Of course, Becky just lost to Rhea. Nia Jax will be up there. I would say those are probably your favorites. But yeah, Rhea Ripley is out. Seth Rollins is also headed out. He is going to be having some surgery. Apparently, he has had more knee issues on his knee. Tore his meniscus a little bit before WrestleMania. So that meniscus problem haunting Seth Rollins apparently just had surgery Tuesday. So he is going to be out for a while. So Seth Rollins hits the sidelines. Tough one there. So Seth Rollins is out as well. Say goodbye to Seth for a little bit. So he'll be at home chasing the kids. Becky Lynch maybe end up becoming the women's champion. Pretty interesting there. But Seth Rollins, the workhorse of WWE, is out of there for a little bit. Maybe he can wear some T-shirts and sweats around for a while. Save a little money on the wardrobe at least. But yeah, we'll miss Seth Rollins. That is for sure. Now, the name that we said got eliminated from the Women's Battle Royal is Xia Li. Why do I say that she's been eliminated from the Battle Royal without the Battle Royal taking place? Well, because WWE actually did some releases. That's right. They have sent a few people to the unemployment line. And here is your group that has been sent away from WWE. Jinder Mahal, the former WWE champion, has been released, along with Xia Li, Zion Quinn, the Australian, and Veer and Sangha, also out. So the 3 Indian wrestlers, the Chinese wrestler, and an Aussie are gone from World Wrestling Entertainment. Of course, the biggest name of them all would be Jinder Mahal, who had just recently somehow out of the blue, booking wise, got a match with Seth Rollins. And that was ironically, that was the match that Seth Rollins got hurt in before WrestleMania that caused all the booking panic there. And, just had that mess go down. But And of course, Tony Khan had that little gender Twitter craziness happening. But yeah, so all three of the top Indian wrestlers are out of WWE, and Xia Li, the first Chinese-born wrestler in World Wrestling Entertainment, also is on her way out. So Xia Li, who had actually been announced in that Battle Royal, is no more with WWE. I will say this. Very interesting to see what happens with Jinder Mahal. Will he be in AEW? Of course, he does have a relationship with TNA. Would certainly be welcomed back there. But after what happened with that little Twitter spat, I have to say, Tony Khan is a sucker for stuff like that. And I think Jinder really has gotten a bad rap. I think what happened with him, if you don't remember, of course, he had the huge upset win over Randy Orton to win the WWE World Championship. And a lot of that was very rushed. He hadn't won matches in quite a while. Wins a six-pack challenge to face Orton, and then very quickly at Backlash wins the championship. And it was because they were going on a tour of India. So he went from being nowhere in WWE to the World Championship. And a lot of people were very critical of that for WWE. And it wasn't that Jinder did a bad job. And of course, Jinder had been released, came back in phenomenal shape and did some great mic work. I mean, there was nothing wrong with anything that he did, but it was just a situation that Vince really seemed to just use him to exploit the Indian market because of that tour. And everybody saw right through it. But it wasn't anything that Jinder Mahal did wrong. And I thought he was wrestling well and certainly deserved an opportunity for all the time that he put in to get himself physically where he did, and was cutting good promos. But we'll see where he lands. I have a feeling it's not going to take him long to find a new home. So, but want to wish all those guys all the best. We always hate to see good people get released, and no one don't like to see anybody lose a job that doesn't deserve to. So good luck to everybody. So we'll see you down the road somewhere in a wrestling ring, I'm sure. And well, speaking of down the road, we got to take a break. So when we come back, we got more here on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. It's the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. So we put a bow on today's show. By the way, Matt Black from WrestleZone is going to be joining us next week. Oh, we always have fun with Matty. Oh, he is something else, isn't he? Just love it when he's so happy on Twitter, then just turns into a bitter, evil dude when he comes on our show. Stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Sherry Harris, owner of Life Source Water. Did you know cities use chlorine to disinfect water? Chlorine is for swimming pools, not drinking or bathing. A Life Source whole house water system ensures that you get delicious and refreshing water from every tap and faucet in your home. It leaves your hair shining and your skin glowing. Call us at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com.
Taste and feel the difference. Life Source Water Systems.
Warranty limitations apply.
Ready for your next vacation? Not so fast. Before you hit the road, remember these healthy habits to keep yourself and others safe and sanitary. Wash your hands after using the restroom, before eating and after blowing your nose. Sanitize airplane seats and tray tables. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or your elbow. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Lastly, make sure you're up to date on all your routine vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. It's also important to get tested when necessary, such as if you develop COVID-19 symptoms before, during, or after travel. If you will be traveling to visit someone who is at a higher risk of getting very sick from COVID-19, or if you're in a situation with a greater risk of exposure during travel. Pack these tips on your next adventure. And remember, travel safely, Nevadans This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Unsafe sleep conditions cause serious injury and even death to infants. Never sleep with your baby on a sofa, in a chair, or in an adult bed. Protect the baby you love from becoming a tragic statistic. The only safe place for your baby to sleep is alone, on its back, in a crib, and in your room. For more information, visit cribsforkids.org. That's cribsforkids.org. This message is sponsored by the Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
My son stopped talking to me. He didn't want to leave his room.
I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
I was really worried about my daughter. She was angry all the time.
I felt so depressed.
I was really worried about my daughter.
I couldn't do anything right. I was always getting yelled at.
My son told me he wanted to hurt himself. I was so scared.
I was feeling hopeless. It was all too much.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
I needed help.
I called the mobile crisis response team, and we met with them that same day.
A crisis team came to my house and helped me talk to my parents about how I was feeling.
I called the mobile crisis response team. They met with us that day.
I talked to them about how I was feeling, and it really helped.
Sometimes understanding what children are experiencing can be difficult. The Nevada Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team provides mental health intervention and support. Learn more at nocrisis.com.
This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Citizens Academy Alumni Association, a nonprofit organization separate and apart from the FBI in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association.
The FBI is engaged in a nationwide effort to build public awareness of hate crimes and encourage reporting to law enforcement. Hate crimes include crimes committed on the basis of the victim's perceived or actual race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. Hate crimes are not only an attack on the victim, they are meant to threaten and intimidate an entire community. If you believe you are a victim or a witness of a hate crime, we encourage you to report it to the FBI by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. You may remain anonymous. Again, report suspected hate crimes by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. The FBI works to protect all victims of crimes, regardless of their country of national origin or immigration status. The FBI encourages victims and witnesses of any hate-related incident to report it to law enforcement. This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Division, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, that's what's going on, everybody. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment as we get ready to wrap up a huge show coming off TNA Rebellion, AEW Dynasty tonight, and of course Impact Live here in Las Vegas. Go to the Palms, get your tickets, go, go, go! Show them your support. Show them how much you love pro wrestling. It's going to be a great Sunday night over there, 4 p.m. Don't wait. Like I said, hit me up on social media. I think I may have some tickets available, so if you don't have any, let me know. I may be able to get you in there. So just drop me a line, okay? Mark Hoke Show. Just wherever you're on social media, all right? And once again, but check it out. TNA, you got TNA Plus. But these are the TV tapings, so yeah, you won't get to see this for a while. So you're only going to see it today is see it live. So come on down. Pearl Theater at the Palms. Some other interesting things going on in the world of wrestling. You ever wonder why getting these big events like, TNA, Rebellion, or getting, say, a AEW pay-per-view, or getting a WWE Royal Rumble or WrestleMania is important to a city? Well, here's why. The 2024 Royal Rumble had a $47 million positive economic impact for St. Petersburg. According to a report via Fox 13 out there, the Rumble earned $47,047,401 in positive economic impact for the St. Petersburg area. Among statistics reported that weekend, the Imagine Museum had a 25% increase in attendance. Sunrunner had a 95% increase in ridership the day of the Rumble. 60,000 donated to several charities like the Boys and Girls Club, the St. Pete, Pinellas Education Foundation. Ferg's Sports Bar did 7 times the business of a usual Saturday. Yeah. So not bad. They did 48,000 plus in attendance over there for the Royal Rumble. So that's why you want to get them. That's why we have this big bidding process. And of course, right now, like I said, we are earlier in the show. We are on the list apparently for WrestleMania this year, coming year. Apparently fighting out with Minneapolis. Gee, yeah, with everything going in Minneapolis, that just sounds like such an amazing place to go. And that sucks because Minneapolis used to be a beautiful city. I went to North Dakota State, went down to Minneapolis a bunch of times, and that is sad that that place has just turned into a miserable pit. Unbelievable. I hope the people of Minneapolis can get that turned around because it was just such a great place. It's disappointing. So if you're listening to me in Minneapolis, please think about what you're doing when you vote this year. And apparently, speaking of WrestleMania, WWE's talking about making some changes. Here's one that, maybe it should have thought about a while ago. Don't have it the weekend of the Final Four. They're actually talking about moving into May. Here's another one that I brought up when they decided they were having Philadelphia. Don't have it in a cold weather city in an outdoor stadium in early April. Hello. They're actually talking about moving it to May. Apparently, Nick Khan brought this up. They said we're not going to do it against the Final Four. Of course, the NCAA basketball championships. And we're not going to do an outdoor stadium on the East Coast. The quote was going in early April in an outdoor stadium on the East Coast. Assume you're not going to see that again. Going up against the Final Four Saturday night games. Assuming you're not going to see that again. What a brilliant. I don't know how they could have possibly thought of that. Oh, gee, kind of like the gang here in Las Vegas with the F1 stuff. Oh, the rocket scientists strike again. Thank you, Nick Khan. Love having in Philly, but I had said could get a little chilly there. The weather gets a little dicey. That's my area. And it was freezing that first night for WrestleMania. Yeah, just an idea. Good work. Good detective work by WWE. No offense, guys. By the way, apparently Drew McIntyre has been working through a hyperextended elbow. So take it easy, Drew. But he's still going. Looks like Cody Rhodes will be facing off with AJ Styles at Backlash. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. Tony Khan had his press conference scrum and a couple topics came up there. One was that CM Punk had said in that big interview with Ariel Helwani that he never got paid or reimbursed for his triceps injury after All In. And Tony was like, I didn't know that. They're going to check into it. And if you didn't get it, we'll take care of it. Because apparently what AEW does, it's different from WWE. They send you to a doctor and take care of the whole thing. AEW has you go to whatever doctor you want and then get the bills and they reimburse you. So Tony was like, hey, I didn't know. If that's true, we'll take care of it. Okay. There's another issue that came out too, which this one, the transgender issue has been kind of a mess across the country. And I don't want to get into the depths of all this because it's can get very personal. But this one went past the line. The Oklahoma Athletic Commission told All Elite Wrestling that allowing a transgender wrestler to defeat a female-born wrestler in the state isn't going to happen. And I was just like, okay, guys, it's pro wrestling. This isn't like a boy sprinting away from a bunch of girls, which is ridiculous. This is pro wrestling. It's scripted. Come on, guys. Look, I know we're watching out for girls and that's cool and women, but this is pro wrestling. You can let this one go. It's all right. It's okay. But that was interesting. And we also saw Apparently TBS was happy with the ratings they got for the CM Punk Jack Perry thing. So yeah, let's feed that dragon. Great. Oh my God. Don't do that again. And also Adam Cole's been pulled from the road. They have told him it's not helping his rehab to be out there. So stay home, get better. No more flying, no more going out and having to walk around on crutches, everything. We need you back, buddy. And we do. The Undisputed Kingdom doesn't quite work without Adam Cole out there. So let's get Adam Cole healed up. Apparently his ankle is not healing well. He shattered that sucker. Whew. Get well, Adam Cole. We need you, baby. And we need you out there, all of our listeners. Hey, we want you down at TNA Impact Live tonight. We'd love to see you. Said, hit me up on social media at Mark Hoke Show. Send your pictures. Say hi. We'd love to catch you. Like I said, I may have a couple tickets, so let me know. And that's going to do it for us today. Thank you for listening to the Mark Hoke Show. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, markhokeshow.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show. You kind of get the point. Just type up The Mark Hoke Show. You'll find us and follow us. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody in Las Vegas, for listening to us and making us the success we are. We will see you next week, and we'll see you down at the Palms. Have a great day, Las Vegas.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.